it's Kiki. So it is almost the end of January, and so I had a reading vlog, and oh, by the way, hi, I'm Kiki. Like and subscribe. I swear I'm less chaotic, but this is a makeup for iMovie, and also me getting rid of something that I shouldn't have got rid of because I didn't know it was going to mess up everything. So just bear with me. So I had a reading vlog. I had my very first reading vlog. I was super excited to do it. I read four books in January. Well, other than the other one that is going to be either out here soon, where I read House of Sky and Breath, and I just decided to do that all on its own because it is a big book and I had a ton of opinions. And not to mention, I'm about 60 something percent in, and it is just a lot of info dumping over info dumping over info dumping. I'm not enjoying this one as much as I enjoyed the first Crescent City, and that is right now just the case. But also understand that is also like 63% in, so might change. But right now it's a lot of info dumping, and I'm not a big fan of just constant info dumping. A little sneak peek. You probably will be talking about it a lot in the video, so I won't say too much other than that. But anyways, I was going to do a reading vlog of me giving you updates, everything, and live time, I guess you can say, of me actually reading it, but it got erased. Instead, I am going to be here and I'm just going to show you what I read, and I'm gonna call it, and this is gonna be the video. The first book I want to talk about is actually a book that I read on KU, but because I enjoyed it so much, I decided to go ahead and get the book, and probably I'm going to also continue the series, even though I've heard a couple things that the second one's good and then the rest kind of become bad, what I've heard. But I don't know, I'm gonna see for myself. And that is The Maddest Obsession by Danielle Lori. I'm pissed because it came like that from Amazon, and I didn't protect it very well, and so now it's all bent up and like that, but it's fine. It's just gonna be on a, just look at that. Oh god, it breaks my fucking heart. So it's fine. It's gonna be just like on my bookshelf, and if I ever want to reread, I'll just, I don't know, I'll just deal with it. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I read this on January 1st through January 1st. So I literally read this in one day. It was easy to just get caught up in it. And not to mention, the audiobook for this is on Scribd, so that helps a ton too. So when you have this on KU and you can listen to it on your earphones, or your headphones, that's what I used it on. It's a pretty easy read. So I enjoyed this. This was really fun. I love the story, and I can't wait to read. I think the next one is going to be Christian and someone else. But yeah, I think this is a series that I'm really gonna enjoy. Also, I might just need to realize I'm just more into mafia than what I thought I was. So that might also be the case. But yeah, 4 out of 5 stars, not too shabby. Also, I just kind of want to say too, I don't really do like the 4 point blah 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 stars, just because I don't know. If it's something like where I'm kind of debating, maybe I will put a 4 point something on, but majority of the time I'm just gonna be 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5. And that's just how it's gonna be. So sorry. The next one is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. This is the first in the Brown sisters. This is by Talia Hilbert. I read this a 3 out of 5, and I read this after The Sweetest Oblivion, so 1-1, and I finished it in 3 days, 1-3. This also I had an audiobook for, but this is the biggest but. I wish I didn't listen to the audiobook because I feel like I would have enjoyed this so much more without the audiobook. They, for some reason, decided to get a audiobook narrator who sounded much older and sounded like she could do Bridget Jones' Diary kind of books, not a book about two young people. And it kind of took me out of it. And I wish they didn't do it because I do feel like that subtracted from me enjoying this book. This is also a little insta-lovey in a way, and also Chloe Brown, A-type character, and I'm not really big on A-type characters, like super mega A-type characters, just because I'm not, I'm not one. I'm 100% not an A-type, and so when I have to read about A-types, I kind of find myself dragging. I did love Red. He was a really nice character, but also I didn't like that the thing that was wrong with him is like his willingness to give up so easily. It just like kind of felt like a cop out a little bit. I don't know. That's just me. But I did enjoy it, and I don't think that the audiobook has swayed me from stopping reading this series. I think I am going to continue the series. I heard the next two are exponentially better, and they got a new audiobook narrator for them, which I'm hoping will make it even better. I definitely think I see potential in the series because I do think Talia Hilbert is a great writer. I think she's an awesome writer. I felt like I was in the world with them because of how she described things and how she made sure you understood how each of them felt. And like, it's a lot more complex than like happy, sad. You know, it was like, I did this thing out of anger, but I'm sad because I didn't want to take it out on her or something like that. It just like, it had so much complexity to the emotion, and I really appreciate when an author does that. Only bad thing is the audiobook narrator definitely down the star rating. Again, 3 out of 5. Next book. Eventually, I'll actually do a reading vlog for you guys. But not today. So, next book was My Sister the Serial Killer by... I don't want to say this girl's name because I know I'm going to butcher it, but I'm going to attempt. It's Oyikian Brathwaite. I'm so sorry if I said your name wrong. You're amazing, and I did not deserve to butcher your name. But this was an amazing book. Let me get you the stats. Well, not stats, but the information about it. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I read this right after Get a Life Coach Chloe Brown, which is 103, and I finished it on 105. So another 3-day read. There's something definitely that I don't enjoy reading too much, which is gaslighting. This had a ton of gaslighting, and I felt really bad for the main character. It's about 2 sisters. One just can't help herself and kills people, and sorry, I'm right underneath my garage door, so anytime someone goes in the garage, I have to wait. Okay, there we go. So this is about her sister who just keeps killing people, and she always just kind of like backs her up. Cordy's crush, who she knows from the hospital that she works at, ends up falling in love with her sister, and then that worries her because she knows what happens to people who fall in love with her sister. And so she goes through this whole thing of like trying so hard to like let him know, like, it's a lot more difficult with my sister than you think. And he doesn't want to hear her. He keeps calling her you know, mean thing, even listen to her. He won't even listen to reason. And you end up finding out that the only reason he really does like her sister is because of beauty. That's the only thing that he finds redeeming about her sister. You don't even know how much danger you're putting yourself into because of a beautiful face. That's crazy. But so she goes through a lot of stuff and a lot of gaslighting from her sister, her mom, who always vouches for her sister, and then the crush guy who just won't even listen to her. And she's trying the best she can. But also, I'm also going to put it out there, she's not the best character either, because you also see a little bit of her work life, and you find out that she's kind of, she's that kind of coworker who takes her job way too seriously. You kind of feel like she's taking it out on lesser people because she's like the head nurse. And that's kind of sucky. The ending of this is very bittersweet, and I honestly don't think this could have ended a better way than the way it did end. I think any other way would feel like a cop-out, and the way that this ended felt absolutely perfect. So I definitely love this book. Again, 4 out of 5 stars. Highly recommend. It's not that big of a read, and something a little bit more of a thriller kind of side if you're feeling for a thriller right now. So definitely recommend. The next book I read was Scarred by Emily McIntyre. I thought this was only a trilogy, but ended up finding out actually recently that she has one book coming out soon that is maybe Aladdin or Jafar Jasmine book, and another one coming out even later in the year that we don't know anything about and what the premise is. But this little Never After series that she's doing is still continuing, and I'm really excited because this was a 4 out of 5. I read it on the January 5th. I finished it 1/7, so another 3-day read. That seems to be my thing, is the 3-day read, except for this Sky and Breath one. That is taking longer than I expected. Scarred was about, it's kind of like a premise of Scar and Simba and Mufasa, but the girl is like really no character relation. But it's the wonderful, powerful king, and then the king's brother, who was the scarred prince. And then he has someone who comes in here to be his arranged marriage, and you find out that he's not that great of a guy, and the girl ends up falling for the scarred prince, which is a lot more of a bad guy. You also find out that she's actually trying to kill the whole heir because they were responsible for her father's death. And then also you find out from the Scarred Prince that he has like this whole rebellion underground that the royalty doesn't know about to take over. There's really not much to say about this other than it is even though Emily McIntyre doesn't want to call it a retelling, it's still based on a story that's already been told. So yeah, it's a retelling. But we're gonna say loosely based, because it is loosely based actually, because like no girl in Lion King is in this book. It seems like this is an original character. It was a fun read. It's a very spicy read. And also if you're into like morally gray characters, this book is definitely for you. My god. There's dogs hacking, and then there's cats meowing. Just a little FYI, the dog's okay. He's a small dog, and he has a little trachea thing where his trachea gets like misaligned, and he has to like hack to like realign it back in or pop it back in. So it's just a small old dog thing, unfortunately. So no worries, the dog is fine. Back to Scarred, I guess. This is the second one I have one more that I have to read that I have of hers called Wretched, which is going to be a story or loosely retelling of The Wicked Witch and kind of like a modern version of that. So I'm really excited about that. Okay. This is a 4 out of 5 and I always highly recommend it. Okay. And last one wasn't actually part of the reading vlog, but I guess me losing it actually had a plus to it because I could add it to this video, which was Truth or Beard by Penny Reed. It is also another series that I am starting, even though I don't need to start any more series. It is the Winston Brothers one. I guess all the series is about all the Winston brothers. It takes place in like a small town in Nashville where all these brothers got beards and they're all like, you know, lumberjack kind of country boys. A little bit of them are troublemakers and all that stuff. So it's always really fun. I rated that a 4 out of 5. I started at 118 and I ended it on 122. That was actually a 5-day read. Also, funny enough, that was also a library book that I got. Thank you, Sherry. If you know, you know. Few people know what this is about or like why I'm thanking a certain person. I got it from the library and I was able to start reading it, and I immediately had to read it because I get nervous with the due dates, and it was due the 31st of January. So I felt like I wanted to put that as a priority over House and Breath, which I have physically. I really enjoyed it. It was really cute. It is a small town romance. It is just a cutesy romance, but also a little bit of spice in it. I do want to talk about spice actually. I have 3 things in here. Let me just go ahead and finish this up. It was really cute, small town romance. Definitely going to continue. Again, a 4 out of 5. There we go. I'm just going to call it right there. I'm going to talk about spice and about like the ratings I feel like it was. Beard is going to be probably a 2 out of 5 spicy meter. It definitely has a lot of it, but there's also a lot of slow burn and a lot of like, because he's a country boy, he wants to do it right and he doesn't want to just like full on go into sleeping together mode. He wants to get to know her and all that stuff, and you kind of find out why, and it's really cute. But when they do finally do it, it's not like overly detailed. Before people are like, really? That seems awful. Every little tension scene before it actually happens is still like A+, real good. Like there's a car scene, there's a behind the scenes at a party, there is, what else? I don't know. I can't even think of all of them, but I definitely think that you're not going to feel like you're missing out because all this tension and like beforehand is so good. So good. I'm going to give Chloe Brown probably a 1 out of 5. There is like one spicy scene in it. It's good, but it's a lot of slow build as well. And I don't feel like there was a lot of tension. I mean, there was a little bit of tension, but not a lot. Just enough to make you kind of go, that's hot. It's not bad. It's just different kind of tension. This is a lot more subtle tension. We have The Maddest Obsession. I want to say this is probably a 3 out of 5. There are pretty spicy scenes in it, but also there's a lot of slow burn in it as well. But there's a lot of like, again, definitely a more heaviness and tension. So when you finally do get there, you're just like, finally, they're doing it. Definitely think because the tension is just a little bit of a, this is getting a 3 instead of a 2. So 3 out of 5. And then we got Scarred. Go fully into this knowing that you're not going to be getting some kind of fluffiness ever in this. I'm going to call this a I'm also going to say this is actually a 3 out of 5 as well, because it's, again, it's a very slow burn, but there is like this heavy tension that happens, and I definitely think it's a lot more like this kind of tension than Truth or Beard kind of tension. Definitely don't go into this thinking, or any of these books, the Emily McIntyre books, thinking that you're getting something cute and fluffy. You're not. You're not getting cute and fluffy. You're getting like intense and crazy, like heavy tension, and tension that you could cut with a knife. And then finally, when it does get to that point, several like sex scenes. So 3. Well, actually, because it's several tension, maybe I'm actually gonna up it and say it's 4 out of 5. But yeah, that is everything I've read in January. I don't think I'll be able to read anything else because I am still, again, working on Sky and Breath, and that is taking up a lot of my time. But anyways, thank you so much for joining me and watching this video. If you like it, please like it. And if you like me, please subscribe. That helps me out so much. I am a new channel and I'm always kind of looking to just get a little bit higher, but at the same time, I'm just also here to have fun and enjoy this. I just told you some really great steamy books, so subscribe. Okay, anyways, that is it. I'm done. Bye.